want to say Happy New Year to all our viewers all across the globe. Thanks for joining us on the New Year edition of Sports Tonight this lovely Friday evening. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, it's New Year's Day and there's a lot to talk about in the world of sports. Usually on this show, on a day like this, we'll try to set a tone for what the year would look like. We always bring to you our sporting calendar, the big events of the year, particularly the ones that will involve Nigeria. We'll try to, let you know some of those events and, of course, help guide you as those events begin to, come to the point where we will have to participate in some of those events. That will take a large chunk of the show tonight, and there'll be, we'll have people to discuss that with us. My guests are already seated in the studio. We will do that for you on the show. At some point, our man Austin Akpan also will join in the discussion, pitch in with his thoughts as we try to set the tone for 2021. 2020 is gone. Of course, 2020 decimated by COVID-19. A lot of plans adversely affected by COVID-19, but we're in 2021. Hopefully, we will be more fortunate in 2021 and things will go our way. But we need to plan. We need not fold our hands. We need to plan. And of course, on the show tonight, we want to set the ball rolling. So to help guide us into the new year and prepare well so that things don't just get us with our hands on our backs. All right, let's bring you into all that we're doing on the show. It's only fitting that on New Year's Day that you'll be a part of the show. So this is how you can be a part of the show, just in case you join us for the first time. This is what to do. You can send us a mail. You can get across to us on Twitter. You can also get across to us on Facebook. Right there on your screen, send us a mail, sportsnight@channelstv.com, on Facebook, Channels for Sports, and on Twitter @channels_sports, the verified handle that we always like to brag about. The conversation never ends on that handle. We keep it going all day long, all night long. We keep it going. We talk about issues in your amazing world of sports, and you can contribute. It's your best bet. Contribute. Let us know how you feel about all the things happening in the world of sports. As we speak, Manchester United and Aston Villa, of course, squaring off in the English Premier League. What's on offer? On offer for Manchester United is a chance to tie Liverpool on the top of the table. That's in the English Premier League if they win against Aston Villa. But if recent performances is anything to go by, it's going to be an uphill task for the Red Devils against a rejuvenated Aston Villa. Come to think of it, Aston Villa just barely survived relegation last season. But of course, this season they seem to be doing big things. And earlier in the day, David Moyes went to his former stomping ground, went to Everton, and of course, with West Ham, were able to defeat Everton. All right, so that's the outlook of the show today, and just sit back, relax. We'll do our best to inform you as we go on along on the show. Let me quickly introduce my partner. He's going to be with me from start to finish, and we're going to start the show together. Bolu Omoni joins me tonight. First, I want to say Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
It's good seeing you 2021.
Yeah, Happy
First
New
time
Year.
I'm seeing you 2021.
It's take getting used to.
Yeah.
I said 2020 1,000 times
Many
today. I
times.
have to get corrected, but it's good to be here. New Year, despite all the pandemic, the trials, the NSAS, everything.
Yeah.
We are still here. We're standing 2020. We hope for a better year.
Yeah.
I said 2020 again.
Yeah.
2020. We hope for a better year to forget everything that happened last year. And in the sporting world, we hope everything gets better, especially for Nigeria. We won't be at many events, but the few want to get to. We just want to enjoy sports as Nigeria. At least you can boldly say, I'm Nigerian, and this is why we are celebrating.
All right. So that's it. Let's also bring into our discussion on the show tonight our man right there in London, Austin Akpan. Austin, it's good to have you on the show. Let me say a very happy New Year to you and yours, and thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
For the greetings, Yemi, and Happy New Year to you, Bolu, and all our viewers from different parts of the world. 2021 is upon us. This is the year everyone was waiting for. The much talked about 2020 has gone. And let's make it count, guys.
All right, that's it. All right, let's before we look at the sporting calendar of 2021, let's quickly take out what's in the news tidbits, if I can call it that. Let's just quickly take a couple of stories that will interest us as Nigerians. Let's start with this one, Victor Osimhen. Not the way we would have loved to start his Napoli career. It's just one thing after the other. And of course, the news broke today that Napoli and Super Eagles forward Victor Osimhen has tested positive for COVID-19. Just when you thought, okay, he's healed from the injury, hopefully we're hoping that it was going to get straight back into the Napoli team. Then this one hit us in the face. I really feel sad for him because the pressure will begin to mount on this young man, Bolu.
Happy New Year for Victor Osimhen. And, the way many journalists try to criticize players for not being too careful. On Osimhen, we are probably trying to be Nigerian and feel pity for him because he's just recovering from the injury he had while playing for Nigeria. Us. Then the shoulder thing, now he's recovering. There are talks of he will probably get back very soon. Now the COVID-19, he will have to be out for at least 2 weeks. Then hopefully after then, even possibly before then, his positive and negative test will be available. I really worry for him. Why? Because Gattuso and his teammates have been saying they miss him a lot. His impact there. He has not scored many goals, but they could see the hunger, his teamwork and everything. But if he would be absent for too long, it means if there's a backup plans when they step up sometimes it's difficult to get them off.
To displace.
So I wish him all the best in his recovery.
All right, let me go to Ahmad Osino Konakwan. How did you take the story? For me, it was like somebody hitting me in the face because, I was getting ready to see him back for Napoli and probably take his place because the coach really wanted him and he got him. Now this happens.
Sadly, but these are the times that we find ourselves. And I know Victor Osimhen is strong. He's a champ. He's a warrior. Minimum of a week, he would beat this and it will be fine. But then it sends a strong message out there that we cannot be too careful, but we must, respect those protocols. I'm sure he understands now that look, this is a reality, and that's the sad message COVID-19 is seem to be passing all over. Say, okay, keep doubting me till I come for you. So I just want to wish Victor Osimhen all the best. He's got to be careful out there as regards recovery. I know he's going to beat it and come out stronger. But it's just something this does to you psychologically when you contract this virus. And I just hope that it will affect him mentally, particularly his performance on and off the pitch. But I know Victor is a tough guy. He's a strong guy. And if he follows everything that doctor says to him, he's going to be back and even better.
All right, so that's it. Which our best wishes to Victor Osimhen. Hopefully, this episode will be the last in a series of unfortunate incidents, and hopefully, he'll be able to get back to doing what we know he can do, what we know he has the ability to do. Let's talk about a player on the rise, a player for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We've watched her grow, we've seen her progress right here, FC Robo, and even before that, we've seen all the things that she's done, and now it's heartwarming to hear the good news today. I'm talking about Rasheedat Ajibade. She's joined at the female side of Atletico Madrid in the Spanish Women's Top Flight League, and she spent 2 years in Norway, but now she has signed for Atletico. She's going to be with Atletico until 2022, and that's a good one. Let me get Bolu's thoughts on this one as well. Rasheedat Ajibade is somebody that a lot of us watched grow, similar to how Asisat Oshola grew up in our faces, and now she's Super C. Now, not the assistant that you used to know. Just shows you how time has a way of turning things around. And I see a lot of similarities in Rasheedat's story as well.
Well, aside France, that I think in Europe presently, Spain is the next best thing to female football. And she has said it over time that Ajibade, that Oshoala is her mentor, she's someone she looks up to, and different types of players, but they both give similar things on the field of play: energy, pace, goals. They give everything together in totality. And now joining your mentor in quote in the same league, because Ajibade's growth, like you rightly said, many of us witnessed it from the under 17 twice to the under 20 twice, then the national team, steady growth. And one of the things that really affected Nigerian players' career trajectory, many of them start from the top, then they fall down, but she's growing steadily. Last season in Norwegian League, her statistics are outstanding. She didn't even play up front alone. She played all through, from the wings to the attacking midfield role, and played up front. Now she is closer to her mentor. Yes, you can say they are in different cities, but believe me, they will find ways to hang out. And they are not the only ones there. Chidima Okeke is also in the same city, Real Madrid, I think it's CFF. And there's another, I can't remember another, there are about 4 Super Falcons players there. I think it will even help the bond, both for them as individuals and also for the Super Falcons. So I think it's a positive move for her. Now, if I can talk to her now, I'll tell her comparisons will come, but don't let it get to you. Knuckle down, face your career, because it's enormous. You start hearing her compare with my sister Oshoala statistics here, how many goals, this and that, and that can probably get into the head of players. But just focus on your game, face your career, enjoy Atletico Madrid female team. And like people say, Atletico, they've grown to become a very huge brand, both male and female. They are growing steadily, and who knows, Ajibade may be the one to help that female brand grow to probably the next champions of Europe.
All right. Let me allow Austin pitch in. Some people have jokingly said our best chance of a Nigerian probably winning or becoming the best player in the world is with the ladies. And I'm beginning to look in the direction of players like Azizat, maybe Rasheedat, especially now that they're moving into top clubs in female football. I don't know if you share those thoughts anyway, but also pitching on the move by Rasheedat Ajibade to Atletico.
I think it's a good one, and that's progress right there. Rasheedat Ajibade, what a story she's telling with her footballing career, and it's so sweet when clubs come for you, particularly a good club as Atletico the Fabino. Francisca Odega, if I remember, has also played for that club, so they understand what Nigerians can bring to the team, and it will be a good way to also, rival Asisa Toshala whenever they get a chance to play. It's a good one. I know her story so well. I've interviewed her severally on the show, and each time I talk to her, I see someone who knows what she wants and where she's going, and she's so full of life and as someone that gives her best whenever she has a chance to play football. There's no doubt she's going to do well in Spain. And I believe that this will rub off also on the Super Falcons, because the more you have players play in very good clubs, their relevance will improve. And then it will also rub off on the team. So I like it so much. I just hope that it opens more doors for Nigerian players, particularly our female players, to get to those top clubs. Rasheedat Ajibade, we saw some of her quality at the last World Cup. And she's also someone that has grown through the ranks from under 17 until now that she's playing for the senior women's national team. Coach Emmanuel Osahan will be so proud. I think he's been nurturing Ajibade since she was about 10 at FC Robo Queens. And that's the story again of what it means to catch them young. So if we go back to the grassroots, go back to the schools, discover more talent, we're going to get more persons to replace Asisa Toshola and, of course, Rasheedat Ajibade.
All right, good one. And I'm looking forward to seeing both players play. I remember the way I felt when, I think it was Barcelona and Real Betis, one had Finidi George, the other had Emmanuel Amunike, and they were playing on the same flank, one on the left, one on the right. So they were chasing each other down. It was very, very interesting. Hopefully, maybe we'll get to see something like this very soon. All right. All the best to our players as we, enter into 2021. I hope that 2021 brings a lot of good news for us all. All right. We talked about the sporting calendar. So let's just go straight into the top sporting calendar. We're going to divide it into two We're going to look at the first half. Then later on, we'll look at the second half. So this is our own sporting calendar, the major sporting events. There's a lot of bias for the ones that involve Nigeria, but there are also some that cannot be ignored, even if Nigeria will not be there. So there you have it on your screen. Men's Handball World Championship is going to hold in Egypt. It's going to be in Egypt from January 14. I want you guys to take note of these things because you're going to have to talk about it later on. You have the African Nations Championship in Cameroon, January 16. You also have other events in January. In February, FIFA Club World Cup. From February 1. You have the Australian Open in Melbourne from February 8. You have the National Sports Festival in Edo State. It's January 14. Africa Under 20 Nations Cup. That's in Mauritania, February 14. All right. So let me pause a little to allow you guys. Let me go straight to Austin. Let's just look at January and February. Talk about what you have seen or on screen. Unfortunately, one or two of those events, the African and West Nigeria will not participate. But then again, those are the major sporting events of those 2 months.
I think it's good. Let's just pray that COVID-19 does not, interrupt and just stop some of these events. It would be good to have them. For handball, for instance, even if you don't participate in such a competition, it gives you an opportunity to, do some assessment, monitor the competition, look at ways you can improve, know the teams that are doing well on the continent. Coaches can also take a cue from other coaches, even the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development can take a look at how Egypt is putting together such a competition. There's always something, to learn when you don't go for a competition. It was good to see the Australian Open come back. That was one competition we're looking forward to in 2020. It was the first that COVID-19 stopped. Let's see if we're going to have it this time around. A lot of competitions out there, but I'm sure for Nigeria, major one is the National Sports Festival that has suffered a lot of setbacks. Let's see if this year will actually make it a reality for us to have the National Sports Festival, which has been postponed over and over again. The last time we had a properly staged National Sports Festival was Eco 2012. Abuja followed, but it was in patches. And then we were glad when Edo won the bid to host the competition. Edo said they're going to give us something, special. And they were building up to that until COVID-19 struck. So hopefully we're going to have the National Sports Festival, not just that event, every other event in the year. We just pray that this year brings its blessings, push COVID-19 out of the way, and then we'll have those events.
All right, thank you, Austin. Bolu, we're about to go on a break, but the FIFA Club World Cup, Australian Open, National Sports Festival, Africa Under 20, Men's Handball, African Nations Championship. I don't know. Your thoughts, basically.
Well, to pick from what Austin said, even if we won't be at some of these events, it's good to learn from it. Learn from the fact that you are not qualifying. What did you do wrong? Then learn from the hosting. Like the Men's Handball World Championship won't be there because we could not qualify. Same thing for Chan. And I remember the Chan days, many criticism and take criticism, see what you can learn from it. Look at how it's been hosted. And if possible, interview some of those guys, how they planned. I mean, those that qualified, what did they do right, what did they do wrong? And in the next event, probably go there, prove everyone wrong, win the event. Club World Cup, everyone wants to participate in Club World Cup. I think last week, Mujekere was talking about this is where the target should be. Target winning the CAF Champions League and go. This is a FIFA event. Definitely the money is much more than whatever will be given at the CAF Champions League. So aim higher. There you can rub shoulders with Real Madrid. Like the next edition now will be Bayern Munich. You can rub shoulders with the best. And who knows, football is very strange. One thing can happen to the best team in quotes, and the underdog can decide to pick the day. Then you can hear Eyimba World Champions. You can hear Plateau United World Champions. Not the aspiration only to go for this event. And like everyone knows, the National Sports Festival hopefully to hold. Yes, Valentine's Day, Love's Day, whatever. But we want to have the National Sports Festival. And the good news is both the Sport Ministry and the PTF and the host city, that's Edo State, they've all agreed for that day. So everyone is looking up to February 14th. So while you are prepping to celebrate with loved ones, also remember there's a certain spot. And for the Australia Open, Ferrer has pulled out.
Yeah.
We hope, and Demurray pulled out of the event before. He's said to be ready for the Australia Open. We hope everyone participates so we can have a very interesting Australia Open. And hopefully COVID-19 won't stop it.
Yeah, that's the baseline for me. It's good to have the timetable for all of these events, but I hope they're not disrupted as they were in 2020. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll continue with the sports calendar and of course take a look at some of the things happening in the world of sports at this moment. Join us again. All right, welcome back. Let's just continue from where we left this off. Let's continue with the calendar. We've seen 2 months. We've seen January and February of 2021, the major sporting events, and of course a little bit of bias for the ones that involves Nigeria or that Nigeria should have been in. Let's go to the month of May, where you have a couple of big events that would happen of significance. You have the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. You have the NBA playoffs. If everything is not disrupted at that point, the NBA playoffs should take center stage. You have the French Open in Paris. That's May 23. You have the UEFA Europa League final that will take place in Poland. That will be on May 26. You have, of course, the Channels International Kids Cup right here in Lagos. Final is always May 27. You can write that down in your calendar. You have the UEFA Champions League. That's on May 29th. It's going to take place in Turkey. Let's see June, the month after May, and also see some of the things that will happen in June as well. In the month of June, you have the African Women's Handball Championship. It's going to be in Cameroon. You have the UEFA European Championships. You have Copa America. That's going to be held in Argentina and Colombia in June. You also have Wimbledon. That's the second. That should be the third Grand Slam event of the year. It's going to be in London. And then, of course, okay, let's stick with that too. That we've spoken about a lot already. Maybe I should start with Austin this time. Austin is still with us. I'm at Austin Akpan. So let me just start with you now. And those events that we've reeled out. Of course, Nigeria is going to be involved in the World Cup qualifiers. Then, of course, Channels Kids Cup. Baby, right here at Channels Television. You have the Women's Handball Championship. And some of the others that are of global significance.
Crucial month of May for Nigeria, talking about the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers, another opportunity for Nigeria to show their importance in Africa by qualifying for the World Cup. Let's see how that one goes. Also, the NBA playoffs will get us talking in May. Then you mentioned the Channels International Kids Cup. Unfortunately, we didn't have it in 2020. The obvious coronavirus, and to most of the schools, calling to say, oh, we wish we were there, would like to play at the Channels Kids Cup. We also wish we could have it, but we had to stay safe. So 2021 gives us another opportunity for us to get back to our objective of catching them young, of developing football at the grassroots. So if everything goes fine, we're going to have it this year, get back to the schools, discover those talents, put them on our platform, let people know that they're actually talents right there at the primary school level. I'm looking forward to all of the events that we've stated for the month of May down to June. Look, it's an action-packed sort of sports. Unless when something comes up to disrupt it, there's definitely something to get us talking.
All right. Bolu, surely, center of attraction would definitely be FIFA World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah. First of Nigeria, and two discussions now. There are talks of Nigeria will play in Lagos State. By then, the National Stadium in Lagos really would
the
be
renovation
ready.
will be over.
Almost every sports fan in Lagos State are expecting. We've been clamoring for the Super Eagles to play in Nigeria for a very, very long time now. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, the fans will be allowed in the stadium. And believe me, even though stadium for Super Eagles has ever been full in decades. The one in Lagos State will definitely be full. Fans have been hungry to watch the Super Eagles, and same thing for the National Stadium in Abuja as well. There are talks of they could play some games there. So that's what many of us are waiting for. And we want the Super Eagles to get back to winning ways. And there's nothing wrong. Yes, they would have played 1 or 2 games before then. That's from March, the AFCON. But this time around, the World Cup qualifiers, I tell people I'm scared for this new style of World Cup qualifiers, especially the second phase. But to get to that second phase, you have to pick your points from the first round, and then you'll know what to happen. The NBA playoffs, they surprised many people with the bubble last year. Many thought, well, they have to cancel, and they said we'll think deep on how to make it better. They came out, then they camped the athletes for, I think, about 3 months without their family and everything. It took a hole for the players and for the NBA, but this time around, all things being equal, we come back to the normal way and see if Lakers can do the magic they did again. The French Open, when you hear French Open, there's one name that comes to your mouth.
Rafael
Nadal. Can you extend his record again? The Europa League, the Channels Kids Championship. I remember last year when myself and Austin were talking about how this is what it's meant to be, a benchmark for grassroots sports in Nigeria. I tell people getting under 17 is not hard. We are making it very difficult. Principals Cup need to come back. If those events, the Puga games, and the same thing with the Nuga games, these are the kind of events that when kids see, they want to participate. At least I played at one Puga games, and we saw a school that had sports. And when you see the way they played, you know this is what everyone is
part
meant
of their
to do.
curriculum.
Yeah, and we're talking about last year with Austin. This is what, and we were here together when it was, many schools want to participate. Why? Because they've seen what had happened in the previous years, and I have to be a part of this. And over the years, even if it's one talent that comes out of that event every year, that is something, that's an impact. And that's what I feel everyone should be involved in, not just channels this time around, not just those schools, even media personnel should report. We should ring it to the ears of those in charge of Nigerian football and sport. Every year they should know something is going on. There's nothing wrong. I've seen clips of children abroad. I once saw a South American 7-year-old. If you see the way this kid was hitting the ball, I didn't wear a boot to play on the field until I was, I think, 13 or there. But this boy was 7. And I was playing on the field with a ball, with a good boot. So this is what everyone should look forward to, and hopefully we'll get there someday. Champions League, well, we don't know what's up till we get to probably semi-final. We start predicting African Women Handball Championship. Just like many African events, this is also a World Cup qualifiers. So we have to qualify. I'm talking about Nigeria now. Get to the latter stages of the event, and hopefully we'll get to the qualifiers. And Euros and Copa America, this is probably the penultimate event for both Ronaldo and Messi. Both of them want to play at the Qatar tournament if they qualify. And after then, that will be the final straw for them for national team. And I'm sure they will want to win. Ronaldo and his Portuguese teammates are the defending champion for Euros. Messi has missed so many finals. This is another opportunity for. And the Wimbledon, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Grand Slam title in tennis. And obviously, one of the attractions is seeing ladies and guys all white. If you have any colored outfit, just keep it for the US Open. But for the Wimbledon, you have to come for white, and it's definitely an interesting event.
All right, let's move ahead now and still taking a look at that calendar. We've got to July and August. Let me reel it out. July, African under 17 Nations Cup. We hope that what happened with the under 20 wouldn't happen with the under 17. But of course, even before they get here, they have to, pass through the WAFU hurdle first. But if they're able to cross that hurdle, then they should be at the Africa Under 17 Nations Cup. That's going to be in Morocco. And on offer there is the tickets to the African Under 17 World Cup. Then you have the biggest event of 2021, multi-sport event. It happens once in 4 years. Fortunately, it couldn't be held in 2020, but it's going to be held in 2021, and we're still going to call it Tokyo 2020. So mark the date on your calendar. That's when the Olympics would happen. Then in August, you have the FIBA Men's Afro Basket in Rwanda, starting from August 17. Tokyo Summer Paralympics, of course, that's in Japan as well, August 24. US Open, it's going to be in New York, August 30. So then one major. So let's just discuss this ones. Maybe I should start with you, Bolu. What happened with the under 20 boys leaves a sore taste in the mouth. We didn't even get past WAFU. not to even talk.
If we get past the group stages of WAFU, not even
that
the
bad.
WAFU itself,
not even the WAFU itself. You know, if we had lost it at the continental level, it's but at WAFU level. But I'm hoping that when it's July, I mean, for us to be there in July, it means we have scaled
through
the WAFU.
The tournament is, I think, in this January or February, and remember some players out of the 60 team were screened out, and I hope they would have sorted it out before then.
I hope it will be an issue.
Yeah, I guess because I think
if 80% of your players got screened out,
the new CAF tournament now is
you're going to start from.
If one of your players gets screened out, you are out of the tournament. It means now the bad name for Africa probably is now becoming embarrassing, that they are now saying, okay,
this is what we're going to do.
You should know what children look like in your country. If you bring men that feel MRI, just keep going, get out with the team. So I hope all the off-the-field drama over age issues and everything doesn't affect this team. And if you are talking about, like you said, under 17 AFCON in Africa, it means we would have progressed through the WAFU, through the qualifiers and everything. Then we get to the event. Though no World Cup for under 17, same with the under 20, but at least Africa still want to host with the aim of still keeping these guys looking out for talent and everything. I hope that is what it's meant to be.
Surely.
I tell people, underage football, especially under 17, shouldn't be win at all costs.
Yeah.
It should be discovery. That's why many countries in the senior clients don't even pay them at all. They believe you are still young, you shouldn't get paid. And like you rightly said, the biggest sporting event, that's the Olympic Games, couldn't happen last year, but it's coming up this year. Even though Nigeria said we will be competing for just 11 out of the 21, 20.
It's not going to be a jamboree.
I have problems with that though, but it's sealed and set. Why? Because if we can qualify for that event, it means we are good enough to 11 to compete. But let's see what happens. We are going for 11. At least we have some of the best wrestlers in the world in their categories. And for basketball, with the new coach Mike Brown, with some of the NBA players and the talents we have, we may even get a medal, both in male and female. But anything can happen in sports. I can't wait to watch the Olympic Games this year. Yes, there may not be fans, but the fact that the event will happen, I'm sure we will take the event without fans than the event being cancelled. And also, good one. Then the FIBA Afro Basket, I think we've qualified already, just to fulfill all righteousness play. And this could be another chance for new basketball players, maybe in Nigeria, wherever, to show themselves. I tell people, some have said, even basketball pundits, that the last event, all the players there will not go to the Olympic Games. But I tell them, if you prove yourself wrong, if you show yourself, the coach won't have a choice. He will have to take them. And the way we outrun everybody at that event, I'm sure Mike Brown is thinking to himself, well, even if the NBA players decide not to come, we have other talents that can. And the Paralympics, that's probably where Nigeria win our most medals. Olympic Games, even if you get nothing, at least you are sure the Paralympics, especially in weightlifting, we get medals from the US Open, one of the best Grand Slam events. In New York, where Serena Williams has gotten to finals since she got back, just slim margins she has missed it. Well, maybe 2021 may be a year to get it.
All right. When do you think we'll get a Nigerian playing in this one?
Again, it doesn't just start. I think I've said it here before that I was on a meeting with some South Africans, and they said the gold medals they won at the last Olympic Games was not fluke. That they planned for it over the years. I tell people, Michael Phelps, the greatest Olympian, he retired before the last Olympic. When he decided to come back again, he trained for 2 years. That's someone that can swim while sleeping.
Yet.
But now it's less than 6 months. We are still thinking about how to overcome and everything.
How long will it take us?
Maybe as of now, if we groom people abroad, maybe we may get there. Because
not even summer for it.
I don't think so.
That's a gloomy picture. Okay, let's go to Austin now. Let's have his take months of July and August. And I mean, Bolu just talked about the under 17. FIFA cancelled the events that were supposed to happen because of COVID, and the hosting rights were given to the countries that should have hosted. They would do that in 2023, but I mean, CAF still wants to go ahead with the under 17, and like I said, it's bad enough that for the under 20, we didn't even make it out of WAFU. So, but this one, if we can get, cross the hurdle, maybe we'll still have that, preserve that generation, and maybe in 2 years' time, they might just be ready for under 20.
I think what COVID-19 really has done to the world is to sit back and reflect. And Nigeria, for not qualifying for the under 20 AFCON, is to sit down and reflect. Sit down and reflect and ask yourself, are we doing the right things? Because my views have always been that at that level, it's not win at all costs. At that level, it is delicate. At that level, it's long-term planning. So if we have failed with the under 20, under 17 gives us an opportunity, because you only build from the bottom to the top. So at under 17, now that they're getting ready, first the Nigerian Football Federation, kudos to them, at their General Assembly, they gave their vote of confidence, they gave their recommendation for Nigeria to go for the WAFU B, which is a plus. CAF also saying that the under 17 should go on. Kudos to CAF because they've checked it that they cannot ignore development. So let's take a look now and say the world has been refreshed. Everybody in me is starting afresh because of what COVID-19 did. So now go back, look at ways that you can make things right, do the right things because we do so well at the FIFA Under 17 World Cup. But 5 years down the line, we start looking for about 85 to 90% of those players. It is time for us to start changing it. Bolu mentioned that some countries don't shout for these kids to go for this competition. They say go there and learn. It's like internship. Going to the Under 17 Championship or the World Cup is like internship for some countries. But there's so much learning they do, and they jot down a lot of lessons from it. I think that's what we should start doing in Nigeria. A lot of times we have said that age cheat is a problem. That level is where we can start fighting it. The Nigerian Football Federation, again, kudos. They're doing so well with the under 13, and I think the under 13 NPFL. Shout out to Barrister Sheyi Akiwumi, who is the chair of youth football. He knows how delicate it is, and that's why when they work with us at the Channels International Kids Cup, when we see a side that is doing the right thing, we put them aside and say, this is a model, this is the way to go. So I think we should really pay attention to ways that we can develop football at the grassroots so that we can start making those progress. For the Olympics, everyone is looking forward to it. It's in July. Now, there's nothing like, oh, this guy has always been dominant. Everybody's conditioning has passed, hear me. We have been refreshed. So Nigeria can go to the Olympics now and say we can win 5 medals. And we win it. Well, how prepared are we? Because even if COVID-19 has taken away that level of competition that we've known the Olympics to be, it's still the Olympics. The brand is still there. So we can go there now if we do the right things. Not now, I'm sure we have done the right things 2 years ago or last year because July is already here. So, but it's good to see the Olympics. It's good to see Nigeria go there, win, not just the Olympics, also the Paralympics. And for basketball, another opportunity for the D Tigers to get back their crown in Africa.
All right, so we're pressed for time, but we have to finish the 2021 calendar. I mean, that's why we're here today. So let's see the remaining part of that calendar. And once we're done with that, we take a look at what's happening in the English Premier League. For September, the FIBA Women's Afrobasket is going to be held, but the date has not been to be decided. But tentatively, that's what you have on your screen. In October, you have men's Hockey Africa Cup of Nations is big, but of course, we're not going to be there. Women's Hockey Africa Cup of Nations, all in October. In November, Channels Track and Field Classics. It's going to be in Lagos. Watch out. It's going to be in Lagos. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. Then, of course, in December, Women's Handball World Championship going to be held in Spain. Dates December 2. Bolu, let's quickly wrap all of this up. And that there are also some competitions that will be going on. CAF Champions League. Some of those things currently going on, and of course we'll be talking about the final. But this one's most of it, probably apart from the FIBA Women's Afrobasket, the rest, of course, no Nigerian interest.
For the FIBA Women Afrobasket, we want them to retain their title. That's what we hope for. Ruling Africa as much for as long as we can. Remember, don't want to talk about the sad part of the prize and everything, but the fact that they are defending champions, back-to-back champions. So we hope they make it repeat. There's nothing wrong. It's happened before. Real Madrid did it.
There's no rule
against it. At the point. There's no rule against it. So I'd love to see how far they've grown from when they won last to this edition. The men's hockey, the qualifiers are not complete yet, but the event should be in October. And then Channels Track and Field again. Track and Field is one of the competitions in quote that gets you more medals at any event. You can get 10, 15 medals from track and field alone. But the huge question is when events like this happen, for look, the channels track and field, do we, after the event, well, should be, it's channels, they are done. Or do we look at these events, when these things happen abroad, there are scouts everywhere picking out for those kids. I'm sure if I'm a parent and my kid or child wins probably gold medal in 100 meters, and the scout comes to me and say, the only thing we'll say, okay, can this child still go to school and do this side by side? If it's possible, these are the things that go around everywhere around the world. I've seen El Clasico of under 9, under 13, and you could see the passion. At the same time, they are still going to school. So this is why I feel we can key into grassroots. The Women's Handball World Championship, well, hopefully we'll be talking about Nigeria in this event soon.
In years to come. Okay. Austin, let's get your take on that, because we need to really be fast now. But your take on that one, of the things left on our calendar, the one that involves Nigeria for sure is the FIBA Women's Afrobasket.
Yeah, that's a big one. So let's see what we can do with it. The D Tigress, of course, they've shown us that they are undisputed in Africa. It's all about sustaining the momentum. I like what the Nigeria Basketball Federation have been doing with both teams. Let's just see if this year will give another opportunity for them to also consolidate. Of course, for me, it's the Channels Track and Field Classics in November. That competition is in its second edition. We're supposed to do the third one. COVID-19 said no. It's for under 17, and it's under 17 in secondary school, boys and girls. It's as Bolu said, don't see it like, oh, these channels, they do the competition and then everybody goes back. We have discovered some fantastic talents in 2 years. It's time for the Athletics Federation of Nigeria to come into it. It's time for the State Athletics Council to come into it. Just come and take a look at these kids and see ways that we can do one or two things with even their parents. We're going to the next level. We discovered a fantastic talent last year. We can still do more, but we can't do it alone. We give the platform, but we want persons who can actually nurture them and take them to be able to, fulfill their dreams.
All right. So that's it. That's it with the calendar. We'll subsequently go to this calendar and discuss this in detail, but that's all we can do with regards to the calendar for today. Let's quickly take a look at the Nigeria Professional Football League Match Day 2. I'm going to quickly reel out what to expect. The matches to be played: Abia Warriors take on Rivers United, Kano Pillars take on Katsina United, Heartland take on Nasarawa United. Wiki Torres will play against Plateau United. You also have Rangers taking on Aqua United. Dakada will take on Jigawa Golden Stars. You have Sunshine Stars taking on FC Fayuba. Lobby Stars will take on Lagos side MFM. Warri Wolves take on Adamawa United. Kwara United and Eyimba. That game will be played on January 20 at the request of the Aba Elephants. All right, let's really go to England and see what's happening with the English Premier League. Let's take a look at it. Earlier in the opening, we talked about what's happening. So that's it. Let's see. Situation report in the English Premier League. Everton and West Ham, full-time result. West Ham were able to... Thomas Suchek scored in that one for West Ham. Manchester United and Aston Villa is 1-0 now in favor of
Man United. Martial got the goal,
United. Anthony Martial has been able, so we update that for you. Yeah, that's it. Manchester United with one. So quickly, Bolu, we're about to wrap this up. You see Manchester United holding on to this lead?
Well, it's possible, but their record at home has not been convincing this season. Just one win, and Villa this week has just found a way to turn things around for them. A win for Villa will get them closer to the top. A win for United will make them join top with Liverpool, who are probably still will play their games. So the Premier League this season is open to everybody. Yeah. So far, this time last year we were talking about when will Liverpool win the Premier League. But this time, lose one game. Spurs is the huge example. They were top of the table.
We're celebrating Jose Masterclass.
So I think it's been interesting so far, and especially this Everton West Ham is a big win for West Ham. And it's not the right time to play any team below the top 10 right now. They can shock anyone, but let's still see what happens. The first half is not over, almost over. Anything can still happen. Jack Grealish, Georgazi and Co can still turn up.
Okay, let me go to Austin. His final words on the show tonight. Austin, your take. Manchester United. Question I'm going to ask is, can they hold on to this lead? And your thoughts about David Moyes returning to his former stomping ground, getting a win right there?
Was a big result for West Ham, and that did a lot of good for them on the league table. I think they're about 12th or so on the table now. Everton missed a vital chance to go to third on the log, because if they had won that one, they would have pushed Leicester City down. So they will be beating themselves big time, because after that was a game that Everton would have won. But shout out to David Moyes and his team. West Ham, one team that I know will not respect you on a day that they really need their results. And it hasn't been so good for them. They needed that win, and so they went out. And they got it. Manchester United, I was telling the guys on the morning show that Manchester United did all the right things in November and December. And out of 30 points up for grabs, the Red Devils got 27. No wonder they are where they are on the league table. For a team that started struggling at the start of the season, doing all the good things, they only lost to Arsenal in November, at the start of November the 1st, actually, and then they dropped points against Manchester City. Aside that, Manchester United went on to win all their games. They're enjoying the momentum now. Aston Villa, we know they can score late goals. They've shown it this season. They're also a team that has not respected any of the big sides. Go ask Liverpool. They will tell you about them. Manchester United, at the moment, they are respecting themselves. They found a new form, and I'm sure they want to keep it. Anthony Martial has just given them the goal. They go into the break with that lead. It will boost their morale to come out and get more goals. So let's see what they can do. It's football. I keep saying it, this season, anything can happen. If you want to relegate as a big team, you will relegate. If you want to win the league as a team that has not done before, you can do it. We've seen it severally with the results that have been, churned out. So it's beautiful times for the English Premier League.
All right, Osino Konakman, I want to thank you for your time on the show tonight. We could go on and on, but of course, time not always our friend because we have to wrap things up. But I want to thank you. Once again, I want to say Happy New Year to you and yours. Hopefully, we'll do this again next week.
I want to say thank you to Happy New Year to all our viewers, and I want to wish everyone a sporting 2021. Thank you.
All right, so that's it, our man, Austin Okon Akpan. Bolu, as we prepare to leave the studio, Pep Guardiola confirming 5 of his players will not play the Chelsea game. Things taking a ugly dimension for City.
Well, it depends on who. If he still has probably his key players, the De Bruyne's, the Sterlings, and probably the defenders who have been probably the biggest points for City this season, well, maybe they can still pick up it, but definitely to be a tough tie for them.
All right, huge blow, that one. All right, so that's it. That's a wrap on the show tonight. And first, I want to thank Bolu Amoni. It takes a lot to be here on the New Year's Day. I want to say thank you to you for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here again.
All right, so that's the show today. I want to say thank you to you as well. Hope you enjoyed your holidays. Happy New Year once again. We're back here again next week. I'll take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. And, of course, till then, it's bye-bye for now. I'm Yemi Adebayo. See you next week.